Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We've been talking about the security in Ogun State and Lagos State, the two of the states that are currently under the federal government lockdown order, which has been extended by another 14 days. DIG Peter Ogunyowo has been talking to us on the situation. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you very much.
There seems to be also some concern in some quarters. The National Human Rights Commission had come out to say that human rights violation has led to the death of more Nigerians in the COVID era than the COVID disease itself had caused. We have joining us from our Abuja studio the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Anthony Ojukwu. Thank you so much, Mr. Ojukwu, for joining us tonight. Give us a sense of what you mean by the report that you sent out that more people have died out of rights violation than 11 deaths that were recorded in the nation over COVID.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Of course, when the regulations on COVID-19 were marshaled out on the 30th, we decided to monitor the violations that would occur as a result of this enforcement. Now we advertise that all citizens, members of civil society, should join the commission and report any cases of violation by law enforcement agents in the course of implementation of the COVID-19 regulations. And the reports we got, there were incidences in about 24 states. And you recall that there were 8 deaths in Kaduna prison. There was another 4 deaths somewhere in Kaduna. There was a death somewhere in Delta State and in Lagos and some other places. So when we counted the number of people who lost their lives in the course of enforcement of COVID-19 regulations, it came to 18. And it's ridiculous that those who were hospitalized, as at yesterday, there were about 11 deaths. And the security agencies, while trying to enforce COVID-19 related issues, had led to the death of 18. So this is worrisome. And that is why the Commission had to release the report of what we monitored nationwide in terms of enforcement of COVID-19 regulations.
Out of these cases that you have mentioned, Mr. Ojukwu, you said in your report that 8 of those are extrajudicial related killings. Is it relating to the police or all the security agencies in the nation, or specifically the police?
The 18 were extrajudicial killings, but not only the police. You recall, it was not only the police that was enforcing COVID-19 regulations. About 12 were as a result of the Nigerian Correctional Services. 7 were as a result of the Nigerian Police Force. 2 were as a result of Nigerian Army. And then 1 was as a result of the task force on enforcement of COVID-19 in Ebonyi State. So if you sum up all that, that will give you 18. It was not only the Nigerian police.
Has there been further investigation that could lead to some insight on what next steps to take in these from the point of view of the human rights community?
Well, what we would expect is that there should be accountability for things like this. And we've had clearly what the directive of the president is. The president did not ask anybody to kill anybody. Even the secretary of the government, the chairman of the presidential task force, explained that law enforcement agents must respect the human rights of Nigerians, and that at this stage it was more of persuasion, enlightenment, and understanding. And that even in his discussion with the president had told him that he would not want any Nigerian to suffer more than is necessary in the course of the enforcement. And also the Inspector General of Police himself made it very clear that police officers involved in enforcement of COVID-19 must respect the human rights of Nigerians. The Nigerian military has also said so. So our view is that these are the action of individual officers who are overzealous in law enforcement, who have gone beyond their mandate, who have shown acts of impunity, who have shown acts of recklessness, and we demand that those officers whose action, act of negligence or overzealousness, whose actions were not according to the directive of the authorities, it had nothing to do with those institutions, it was the clear action of the individual officers who were disproportionate in the use of firearms, in reacting to the situations at hand. So those officers have to be held accountable for the violations that have occurred.